Hello, my friends. I hope you're really, really well. If you're a leader struggling with imposter syndrome, chances are you're often leading from a place of fight or flight mode, which basically means that you are leading from a dysregulated nervous system state, and very often without actually realizing it. In my last video, I explained the 3 states of a dysregulated nervous system. If you are interested in watching it, I will leave the link in the comments of this post. Today, I'm going to talk about what happens when we lead from the fight state. I'm not going to talk about flight today. I will talk about it in the next videos. Today, we are focusing on what does it look like? Who am I if I'm leading from the place of a fight state? Well, what that means is that our nervous system has detected a threat. And that doesn't mean a real, obviously, physical threat in your boardroom or in the meeting when you are talking to your team. It just means that something in your current situation, in that present moment where you are at, reminds your nervous system of a past experience when you felt unsafe. And so your nervous system launches into an action mode and it tries to protect you. And when we are in a fight state, your nervous system believes that it can fight that perceived danger by taking control. So when we are in a fight state, it's all about being in control. We don't want to lose control over things, right? So one of the very common behaviors when we lead from a fight state is that we become a micromanager. Why? Well, because when we struggle with imposter syndrome, we might fear that if my team makes a mistake, it will reflect badly on me as a leader. And that would mean exposing me to, to other people as not being good enough for this particular role as a leader. And if I'm not good, in this role as a leader, that means that I don't belong here. And that means that I am an imposter. Can you see the cookie trail thinking there? So that fear of being exposed leads to over-controlling everything and everyone. And it's frustrating for the team, right? I'm not sure about you. I've worked with a few micromanagers, and I actually was a micromanager myself when I started my career as a leader because of exactly what I'm telling you right now. But it actually has nothing to do with the team, and it has everything to do with the leader's nervous system trying to protect the leader from feeling inadequate, feeling like we are not good enough. So what's the solution in here? Well, the solution is definitely not trying to change the behavior itself, because it doesn't work. Well, if it was that easy, we would just change the behavior and we simply wouldn't micromanage, right? It doesn't work because the behavior is simply a reflection of the state of our nervous system. And so if we want to stop micromanaging or actually change any fight or flight behavior, we first need to bring our nervous system into a state of safety and regulation. And then when our nervous system feels safe, then we can start taking different actions, one tiny step at a time. So I'm going to now share with you a very practical 4-step tool that you can start using and trying if micromanaging is your challenge. But before we go there, let's first talk about how do we feel when we are in a fight? What do you feel in your body? Well, when we are in a fight mode, there is a lot of energy in our body. We feel really, really, really hyper. Our heart is racing. We feel panicky. There is a lot of anxiousness. Our mind is going a million miles an hour. Our thoughts are scattered. We can't really focus on one thing. So a lot of energy in the body. So what do we do with this? Step number 1 is to, first of all, release that energy from our body. We need to do this because we want to start showing our system that we are safe in the second step. But we first need to release that excess energy that is in our body. And we do this by literally, you can start shaking to a piece of music that you like. You can turn the music up and you can just go and shake for 2, 3, 4 minutes, whatever works for you. Or you can just go and dance. You might go for a walk, just basically any kind of physical movement that will help you to release that excess energy. What you will notice that it doesn't matter how much we try to talk ourselves into calming down, it doesn't work. And that's because, as I explained in the last video, our nervous system doesn't live in our mind, it lives in our body. And so no amount of words or talking ourselves into feeling differently is going to help because your nervous system literally can't hear you. We need to show it that it's okay to take different action. So step number 1, releasing that excess energy from our body. Number 2, once we do that, we start breathing so that we can signal into, to our nervous system that we are safe. And this is really, really important because, as I said before, our nervous system thinks that we are in danger, and so it feels we are not safe and it wants to help us. So I want to give a cue to my nervous system, showing it that, sweetheart, I've got you. I am safe. You don't need to protect me here by making me feel all panicky. I've got myself. And so we breathe. And when we want to breathe ourselves into safety, we make our exhale longer than our inhale. So you might inhale for 4, for example, 4 counts, and then you exhale for 6 or for 8. And this is a signal to our nervous system that, okay, she's got this, she's okay, I don't need to come and protect her. And you do a few rounds of this breathing. That's number 2. Number 3, once we calm down and we are in a more regulated state, then we take action from this place of a regulation. And it doesn't mean that we are going to start regulating left, right, and center to everyone all of a sudden, because it's too big a step. Again, our nervous system is going to go, wow, too much. I don't want you to do that. But we take a small, tiny step. And in this case, what we might do, we might choose, for example, a team member that we feel the most safe with, that we trust the most, and we can just take one task and fully delegate it to that team member without checking on them, without asking whether they need our help, none of that, simply allowing ourselves to delegate that to that one person. And you will feel really uncomfortable, you will, but you just want to keep breathing and keep telling your nervous system that this is safe, and you are just testing it, basically. And you can start observing, did my fears come true? Did anybody come to me and told me that I'm not a good leader? Did anything happen? Did anybody die? Or have I survived? So you are basically literally collecting the new data for your nervous system, because we need to show our nervous system by taking new action. And number 4 is you can start recording this. So every time you take a new action and nothing happens, you record it. For example, on this and this date, I have delegated and nothing happened. I was safe. Actually, it went really well. So once again, you are recording this and you are showing your nervous system that you are safe and it's okay. It doesn't need to come and protect you. So just to summarize the four steps. Number 1, you first release the excess energy. Number 2, you breathe to signal the safety. Number 2, you take one new tiny step. And number 4, you record it as a win into your journal. So try this and let me know how it goes. Now, the trick here is, as always, you do need to take action so that you can actually start testing this and showing your nervous system. There is no amount of listening to podcasts or videos like this that is going to actually help you to change that behavior unless you take action. So please take action. Let me know how it goes. And also let me know in the comments or in the DMs, what are maybe some other behaviors that you can see yourself. How do you lead when you lead from the place of being in the fight mode? And I will definitely address this in the next videos. And with that, my friends, as always, with so much love, I will speak to you next week. Bye.